Marge Kinney, and this is the Marge Kinney Art Show. Welcome to my living room, and I hope you enjoy painting with me today. What we're going to do is just practice a little bit of trees, okay? So this will be part one, and I'll show you a couple trees and how I would go about painting them in an impressionistic fashion. Okay, here we go. All right, one of the biggest problems that people have with painting trees is that they do not leave sky holes in the tree. So we're going to start today by making a larger base on the tree, such as this. And as it comes up, we create a branch structure. Now the colors I'm also using for the tree today are burnt umber, gray, Naples yellow, burnt sienna. Alright, the trees tend to come out and they get narrower as they go forward into the sky. Some trees have small twigs that stick out from the bottom. Oak trees, as a matter of fact, have a branch usually that hugs the bottom, that leans over like this and aims towards the earth, such as this. As the branches go higher, they keep stemming out and creating more smaller branches and thinner branches as they go up into the air. Not all branch colors are the same. Branch colors turn green, red, yellow, orange, depending on the light that's hitting them, and you can make them very attractive. Usually a branch limb will turn lighter when you're in the very darkest foliage of the branch, and then it will turn darker when you're in the lightest foliage of the branch. So it's a way for you to continue seeing the branches. So now if I use Viridian Green and alizarin Crimson, which you can see here on the palette, it makes a very, very dark green, very luscious dark green. So now I'm going to pretty well cover the main body of the tree. Now this is where many people make mistakes. Many artists make mistakes because they make it look like a lollipop by making the dark color go everywhere, and you really need to save space for the sky holes, and that's the color that's behind the tree. You know, when you look up through a tree, you see the air, you see the sky, and it's always so beautiful, particularly when you can see blue sky, and also when the sun is coming through, it leaves sparkles. It's just so beautiful. Now this has alizarin and Viridian, and I do keep some of the alizarin a little heavier because that makes it get to be a deeper green. All right, that was a spot that had mostly Viridian on it. Let's see what we can do with that. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of yellow ochre, which we already have on the palette here. And I'm going to add the yellow ochre to my mix of the Viridian and alizarin Crimson. So it's using the same deep tone of green, but it lightens it. So I'm coming in here again. It makes a luscious, beautiful, muted, lighter green. Now notice I'm not painting every leaf. Even though I could be seeing every leaf in a picture, that isn't what we need to do. We don't need to make such a big effort. all I need to do is call out a couple leaves, such as this, just like that, like that. That's all I have to do, and you'll get the impression that there's plenty of leaves there. Now I'm going to switch to a Naples yellow in the puddle of the lighter yellow, and I'm going to come through with some of that. I'm going to come through with that on the side that the sun is hitting. I don't want to lose all of the dark area, because why would I have put it in to begin with? It's just to kind of give a background, and usually it's in the shadow area of the tree. Now I can go back in and change some of the colors of the branches. And notice I do have skylight in there. So now I'm going to take a little burnt sienna and a little white and a little yellow ochre, and I'm going to emphasize some of these branches. I'll make them light where it was dark. Don't have to all be hooked together. And then I'll make it dark where it was light. The other thing I can do is hook some of these to the center of the tree, that hook the trunks to the center of the tree, because we don't just want the tree to grow just one side or the other side. Trees don't grow that way. All right, that kind of gives you an idea. And then also towards the bottom, you would have a dark side. Remember, we had the light side here. So if I make this side a little bit darker, and if I use an ultramarine blue with the burnt sienna, it makes a lovely dark, dark brown. Very nice. And then the other side can be lighter. And again, I can even make that very light. By using a little of the yellow ochre. Remember, the tree doesn't just sit there by itself on the top of the grass. It has roots, so it's fine to make roots that go outwards. And usually around the trunk of the tree, you have little pieces of grass growing, like so. Okay, we could easily put a distant pasture in here and have this as a beautiful foreground tree, and we'd have a finished painting. So all we need to do is just run that line here. If I use a little bit of magenta with my Viridian, it's going to make, can you guess? We've talked about it in another painting. We would make, this is the color it makes. It makes a luscious purple. So if we came in here and quickly add a little mountain. I've mentioned before that we take a deep green and the Viridian and the alizarin to make a dark green. Add some little bushes, some little trees at the base of the mountain. Then we add a pasture in the light tones of Naples yellow, yellow ochre, and keeping the brush. Notice I haven't dipped my brush in water, just using the colors that are on the brush. Oh, that's really pretty. See, it really doesn't take much effort. Like that. As it comes forward, we just deepen the green a little bit. We sure are working hard on this painting, aren't we? See, again, I'm adding a little bit of that Viridian and alizarin crimson here. And all I have to do is add a little bush towards the front. Now mind you, you can spend a lot of time on this painting. We could have taken a month on it, and that's all well and good. If you have the month to spend, I don't happen to have a month to spend. I'm pretty busy with all my grandchildren. Got 10 grandchildren and 4 sons, and everybody keeps me busy. So, but if you have the time to spend and you want to make a lot of detail, you can. Otherwise, you can just have fun with a painting like this. Notice how much work I put into these flowers. And again, with a little bit more time, you can make this as pretty as you want, but this kind of gives you an idea of how to make that tree. Okay, and because this has a branch that kind of goes down towards the ground, I guess we'll have to call this an oak tree. All right, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've had a good time painting. I hope you picked up your brush right at the beginning with me and painted along. I didn't bother painting the sky because at this point I undertoned it with a peach, the canvas with a peach color. However, it would be pretty as well with either a very, very light violet sky or a blue sky with white clouds. Hey, thanks for joining me again, and we'll do more on trees soon. Stay in tune. Bye.